All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today we are going to be learning about what should I call this library? Uh, okay, so it's called Pillow, and this is a fork of another library called PIL. The development of which was disc- discontinued. Uh, Man, we just started the stream, and I'm already like losing my words. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be learning about this library called Pillow, and apparently this is a fork of another library called PIL. The development for that library was discontinued a couple years back, and in fact, a couple years back, probably more than a decade ago at this point. I think so. I think so. Give me a second. Let me just. Oh, you know what? I can probably do this. Yeah, it does mention it on the Wikipedia page that where was it? Here. Yeah. Development of the original project known as PIL was discontinued in 2011, and subsequently a successor project named Pillow forked the PIL repository and added Python 3 support. So yeah, that's what we're going to be learning today. Pillow. This is a library that can be used for dealing with images. So you can use it to, of course, save and load images, but also you can do image manipulation with it. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I was looking for a library that I can use to draw, just draw simple shapes, nothing too complex. Just at least for my purpose, I just want to be able to draw simple shapes and write text onto the image. And at the very least, Pillow can do that, but Pillow can also do tons more, from what I understand. So today we're going to be learning the basics of this library and trying to understand various concepts surrounding this library. And my end goal is to learn how to manipulate images through this library. More specifically, learn how to draw shapes and write text onto an image using this library. I'm not looking to explore the entire library because I'm pretty sure there's a lot that this library can do. So I'm not going to try and explore every single thing because that's not really the goal here. And I feel like it's just going to be a waste of time for me to do that. I have very specific I have very specific requirements. I have a very specific objective, and I'm just going to learn as much as I need to complete that objective. However, I do also want to learn the concepts surrounding this library because there's a bunch of other image related things that I do, image and video related things that I do in Python, where I feel like this library can be helpful. Okay, that being said, I don't need to install this library because Pillow comes installed with PyTorch, or well, it's one of the dependencies, so it gets installed when you install PyTorch. And I have already installed PyTorch, so what was it? I think it's just import PIL. Yeah, there it is. I also created a new Jupyter notebook because in the other one, there were already multiple cells in there, and because of that, each time I would type something, it would run this process of like analyzing all of the cells, and that would cause like a slowdown because I'm streaming right now. So I was like, let me start with a new blank notebook, and hopefully things should go faster. And yeah, things are going faster. Okay. Give me a second. Let me refresh my page. Dude, I need to do work on my VTubing app. But before that, I need to explore the Twitch IO library. Yeah, I want to explore the Twitch IO library to see what all I'm able to do with it. Because I forgot what I was about to say. I was saying, like, because something, and then I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I wanna explore Twitch IO because I need to work on the middleware app that I was planning on making. Cause dude, I'm gonna be honest, the Twitch game engine plugin, which so far they have it for the Unity game engine and Unreal Engine, as great as that is, and I've mentioned this before, and I kind of changed my mind on what I had said at the time, but then now I'm thinking I wasn't wrong at the time. Given how slow I've seen the progress of the development, what am I trying to say here? I just don't know to what extent they are focusing on the development of both of those plugins, if I'm being honest. I don't know to what extent they are giving importance to it. So I don't want to risk include. I mean, to be honest, I've already included it in my project, and I need to find a way to remove everything of that plugin from my main project right now. I really jumped the gun when it came to this specific thing. I should be a little more careful with what libraries I'm including, what plugins I'm adding to my main VTubing app project. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the middleware idea because that seems like a safer idea. That's probably the best way that I can put it. That seems like a much safer idea, and I believe I'll be able to implement all of it with ease. It's just going to take some time, but I will be able to implement all of it, and I'm pretty I'm pretty comfortable with the workflow of TwitchLib, and I'm pretty comfortable with using Twitch. I've used TwitchLib already, so I know my way around TwitchLib pretty well. And there's tons of like documentation and stuff, and if there's any issues that I run into, I can always go look at the source code because the entire thing is open source. But if I run into an issue with the plugin, the best thing that I can do is report it in the user voice channel, or I think it's in the dev something. That there's something they have set up for devs. I forgot what it's called, but like they have something like that. Like there's like a thing where you can create your own post, and you can mention that, hey, so and so is the thing. Basically, you can give feedback, you can like report bugs and stuff, but I don't know how quickly the bugs and the issues are going to get fixed if I do report them. That's why I don't want to take the risk, because I don't want to end up with something broken and then I'm just like stuck with it. Whereas I could instead use TwitchLib or Twitch IO and build a middleware app, and that way I can be sure that I'm not going to end up with something broken, if that makes sense. I do want to test out Twitch IO. Um, TwitchLib is great. TwitchLib is fairly mature. I don't know to what extent they're still working on it. Um, but it's like it's had a lot of time to mature, and a lot of people have reported bugs, and the bugs have been fixed, and there's like it's there's a bit of an active community around it. So I'm more comfortable with Twitch lib, and I do want to test out Twitch IO as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to go back to my middleware app idea. Whether the middleware app is going to use Twitch lib or Twitch IO, I'm going to have to I'm going to decide that after exploring Twitch IO. Maybe I'll make a stream out of exploring Twitch IO. I'm gonna need to explore it a little bit off stream first, because when I am messing around with Twitch IO, I want to make sure that my OAuth token doesn't show up. So I'm gonna need to write it to a file, and like there's a authentication process that I have set up. Let me show. I can show it here. I'm going to follow the same auth workflow that I'd set up for my I made a mod app, an app for doing moderator related stuff, Twitch mod related stuff. Give me a second. Okay, so dem keys GitHub, or I can directly type SMA console mod app. I forgot what it's called. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to open up my GitHub. Okay, I can transition back now. Okay, so this is my GitHub, and here it should be in the list. Stream mod app, there it is. So this contains two things. One is the app itself, which is a C# console app, and the other is an auth generator, which I actually wrote in Python. In the console app, I have a way of starting up, like there's a function that I wrote that's gonna sort of wait. It's gonna listen on one of the sockets. It's gonna listen on one of the ports using sockets, and then from another machine, I can use this script that I made for the auth generator to generate a token and send that token using the script across the network, where the console app is going to catch it and it's going to write it to a file, which should be here, I believe. Yeah, here there's this function, which, so this is get auth data. Oh god, I actually wrote this coding drunk. This should go well. Oh my god, dude. Hold on. Am I using this? I don't know if I'm using this. I think I am. Get auth data. Yeah, I think I am using this. There was a thing that I had done. So this is get auth data. This reads the data from the file. There's another thing which is for writing auth data. Oh, that's what get auth data is. So get auth data basically, yeah, get auth data, it starts that process where it waits for a response on one of the ports, and then you can send the data in. So I need to make sure that I need to go through this code again and figure out exactly what the data in the file says, because get auth data, it gets the data, it reads the data on the network, on the port, the data that comes across the network, which is basically just the what do you call it? It's just the OAuth token. So then that token along with the client ID both get written to both of them get written to a file. So I need to look at, oh, you know what? I think I already thought about that in the past. Okay, good job me. Received data will be client. No, this is the data that's received across the network. Did I think about the data that I'm writing? Okay, I'm gonna have to go through this code again, and then I'll look into. Because I need to figure out the. You know what? Yeah, I can. Um, should be an init, right? Reads data from the file and populates the fields. Okay, reads data. Have I mentioned anywhere what the format is? Because I mean, I can just look at this code and do it that way. There's probably a split happening somewhere. It checks for the file. Okay. All right. Then we have a byte array. Then the whole thing gets parsed into a string. Okay. Then we have auth data. This is in JSON. Okay. All right. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. This is in JSON. So I need to look at dvt auth data. That class should be somewhere here, right? Maybe I made it separately. Where exactly is it? dvt auth data. Okay, let's click on this and see. Okay, it's up here. Well, okay, wow, that's funny. Okay, dvt auth data must be described somewhere, right? It's probably not in this list, but what about what modbot? It wouldn't be mod helper. We were just in auth, so it's none of those. Okay, let's take a look at modbot. Let's see if it's there. No, it shouldn't be there. Because I don't think I would have organized it in that way. Oh, it's here. DVT auth data. So that's a string. That's a string. Basically, this is reading. Okay, so what I was initially thinking, what I was initially worried about was that maybe I had stored it in a specific format. Like I'd created my own format for like something like maybe client ID, pipe symbol, and then auth token and stuff like that. But no, apparently I stored the entire thing uh, into a class, into a class's field. So basically, I stored the entire thing as an object, and then I converted that to JSON, serialized that to JSON, and then I think I made the thing base 64, or I did like an XOR or something on it. Where is it? Hold on a second. So get auth data. That's forgetting. Well, yeah, okay. I could just look here, right? So the entire thing. So the thing gets serialized, and then we have the byte array, and then every single byte I XOR it with 255, and then the resulting array, I write that entire thing to a file. Okay, so I need to remember this. Because I'll be setting up this exact same kind of auth flow, auth process in my other app as well. In fact, what I could do is I could basically just use this same directory. This directory that I have here, I could just use this same directory because wait, where was I storing this? Because it wasn't exactly here. So we have, oh yeah, it was here, local app data. So this is not going to be on Linux, so I don't need to worry about that. This is going to be mainly on Windows, at least for the time being. That's the way that I'm going about it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to set up a similar kind of library for Python as well, and then you know what? Maybe I can just maybe I can upload that to this repository and like store it for future purposes. I could do that. Or maybe I could make a different repo for, I don't know, I'm trying to set up a repo for this thing so I can use it in the future, but I'm trying to like standardize it to a certain extent. So in the future it can be like, oh, I need to build an app for myself, of course. I need to build an app that does Twitch API things, but I need to set up an auth flow, and I want to go with the same old auth flow that I know and am comfortable with. And so I'll just, use one of these things. Okay, so something I could do is I could set up two separate, like it'll be one repo, but I could set up two separate scripts. One will be a C sharp class, and the other will be a Python script. Yeah, that'll be a good way to standardize it. This will basically be like my own little auth flow kind of thing. This works for me because I generate the token on another machine. That's actually one of the reasons why I set up this auth flow in the first place. It was because I generate the token on another machine for multiple reasons. Initially, one of the reasons was because I wasn't logged in on Twitch through the browser on the current system that I'm streaming from. I was logged into Twitch on another system, and I'm always logged in on that system. So usually I would generate the token on that system, and then I would send it to this system in some very unsecured way, or insecure way, some very insecure way. But it didn't matter because I was the only one seeing it. So like the security didn't really make too much of a difference. Basically, what I would do is I would open up a Google Doc on that machine, and then paste the token in there and then save it, and then open up that same Google Doc on this machine where I'm streaming from, and then just copy it. And it wasn't that big a deal because I wouldn't have to generate a new token like every day, so it wasn't a big hassle. But then I kind of wanted to streamline the process a little bit. I didn't want to have to do so. For example, one of the reasons why that method wasn't really the best to work with was because, for one thing, I would still need the token to be written to a file and then like saved in some form that would not be some form that it would not be easily readable, and it wouldn't be I didn't want it to accidentally show up on stream. Basically, let me just put it that way. I didn't want the token to accidentally show up on stream. So that's why I set up this process, this kind of flow, this kind of workflow where, on this machine where I'm streaming, I start a listening kind of process where it's just waiting for the data to come, and then on the other machine, I'll generate the URL that is needed, and then I'll enter that URL into my browser and get the token, and then I'll send the token using a Python script on that machine, from that machine to this machine. And that flow, as tedious as it may sound, it's not tedious. It's just I'm explaining it in a very shitty way because I'm just not doing a very good job of explaining it. But it's a process that works for me. So I need to write this down so I don't forget. Basically, what I'm trying to do is, dude, I can just copy this into a class. I can just copy this entire class, SMA auth. I can just copy this entire class because this entire thing is like, it's separate from, the entire project. Like it is being used in the project, but it is its own thing. It is its own thing. It's This class can be separate. I don't need to rewrite a class. I can just copy this entire code whenever I have a new project, a new C sharp project where I want to set up an auth flow. I can just copy paste this thing. And I would need to change, have I mentioned that somewhere? I would need to change this. So I need to add comments saying that when you do set up a new thing, then change this. So this is the local app directory, which if you're on Windows, you have a local app directory where your apps store their files, be it temporary files or files that they just want data to be stored in those files. They store those files in that location, which is usually on C. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to store this auth file there so that I can easily read from it. And another reason to store it there is that way the auth file is not a part of the project. So I can use that same auth file for a different project because it's usually it's going to be, you know what? No, hold on. I was about to say usually it's going to be the same client ID, but maybe not. There could be there could be other situations where it might not be the same client ID, but it's not going to make a difference because yeah, it's not going to make a difference because I could use a separate client because like looking at it from the stream mod app point of view, doesn't matter which client ID I'm using as long as I have the right scope or the right list of scopes, I should say. I should be fine. Okay, so I have some stuff to look into. I also need to set up a similar kind of library for Python where I can do pretty much the same thing. This whatever is going on here. So here we have what? Let's take a look at all the symbols. Wait. Okay, here we have init. We have, dude, I was trying to look at the functions, but like I think GitHub kind of limits. No, it doesn't. Okay. GitHub limits your search ability, but like fortunately it doesn't limit this. I was about to say that it probably limits this as well, but fortunately it doesn't. Because it definitely limits your search ability. Like if you search for something over here, in the search, some results will show up, but code results are not going to show up. You have to be logged in to search and find code. Anyways, so the functions I need here, I don't need WL. I just made that as a convenience function specifically for C sharp because I didn't want to have to write console.writeLine each time, so I just made a WL function. So then I just have to call WL. Okay, so then we have init. I don't think I need generate auth URL because I'm not yeah, I don't need that. So it's just init and get auth data. Get auth data is mainly only for writing a new token to the file. And init is where we're going to be reading from that file to get a token. So these are the only two functions that I need to implement, but in Python. So then that way I can set up an auth script in Python as well. An auth script specifically for my auth workflow. Give me a second. Actually, let me hydrate. And I just realized that we've been talking about other stuff for a while. I haven't gotten into pillow yet. So we need to do that. Give me a second, let me hydrate, and then we can. Oh, wait, shit. An ad is going to be starting in a little bit. So let me just run the ad right now. And I'll see you guys in 30 seconds. I'll hydrate in that time as well. All right, welcome back. So we are going to be half an hour late. We are going to be looking into. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that because I like yapping, dude. So I'm not. I don't mind the fact that it's half an hour late. But yeah, we're going to be looking into pillow. Um, Give me a sec. Um, Hold on. All right. So Python imaging lab. Okay, I didn't know it's called. I didn't know the full form was Python imaging library. Good to know. The Python imaging library adds image processing capabilities to your Python interpreter. This library provides extensive file format support, an efficient internal representation, and fairly powerful image processing capabilities. The core image library is defined designed. The core image library is designed for fast access to data stored in a few basic pixel formats. It should provide a solid foundation for a general image processing tool. Right. So let's take a look at the installation. Um, Actually, we don't need to look into that because I already have Pillow. So I guess we can move on to the handbook. Okay. The Python imaging library adds Have I read this already? Yeah, I've already read this. Let's look at a few possible uses of this library. Image archives. The PIL is ideal for, or well, I should just say Pillow at this point. Pillow is ideal for image archival and batch processing applications. You can use the library to create thumbnails, convert between file formats, print images, etc. The current version identifies and reads a large number of formats. Write support is intentionally restricted to the most commonly used interchange and presentation formats. Image display. The current release includes TK photo image and bitmap image interfaces, as well as Windows DIB interface that can be used with Python Win and other Windows based toolkits. Many other GUI toolkits come with some kind of PIL support. For debugging, there's also a show method which saves an image to disk and calls an external display utility. That's what I need. More specifically, I don't need like an external. I mean, yeah, I kind of need an external thing, but like more specifically, what I needed to do is just display it in Jupyter Notebook. That's it. Um, I just want to be able to see the output in the Jupyter Notebook cell output section, and I believe there is a thing to do that. The library also supports image resizing, rotation, and arbitrary affine transformations. Okay. Um, there's a histogram method allowing you to pull some statistics out of an image. I should look into that. Yep. This can be used for automatic contrast enhancement and for global statistical analysis. Yeah, I definitely want to look into the histogram for images because there's something that I'd seen. Okay, I'm not going to get into that right now, but there's specifically for images and videos. I've been meaning to look into histograms, and there was something else as well. What was it called? Stereogram? Hold on. Stereogram. Let me see if I'm getting the term right. Uh Image histogram. No, there was a thing, dude. There was a thing, or was it an audio histogram that I'm remembering? An image histogram is a type of histogram that acts as a graphical representation of the tonal distribution in a digital image. It plots the number of pixels for each tonal value. Okay, okay. I don't need to look into that right now. We can look into the histogram thing later on. For now, I don't wanna distract myself. I need to get better at like pulling myself out of those things where I suddenly like start, I don't want to call it hyper focusing, but like I suddenly start focusing on something else and I just start going deeper and deeper into that and then moving away from what I was initially doing. Okay. Um right. So the most important class, no, let's start from the top. Tutorial using the image class. Okay. The most important class in the Python imaging library is the image class defined in the module with the same name. Oh, okay. All right. Um, right. You can create instances of this class in several ways, either by loading images from files, processing other images, or creating images from scratch. To load an image, from a file, use the open function in the image module. All right. If successful, this function returns an image object. You can now use instance attributes to examine the file contents. All right. Reading and writing images. Okay, you know what? Real quick, I'm gonna make a 16 by 16 thing in MS Paint. Let me also just capture MS Paint here, so you guys can also see it for the few minutes that I'm gonna have it up. You guys can see it. Uh, MS Paint. Oh God, that is big. Holy shit. Why is it so big? That's what she said. But why is it so big? Let's reset the transform and make it smaller, I guess. And then we can bring it here and the center. All right, great. Um So let's resize this image. Let's do it in terms of pixels. And let's make this, should I do 32 by 32? Because I don't want to do 32 because I'm going to have to like guess. And like eventually, once we learn how to create, which it should be coming up in the next few sections, once we learn how to create images, I'm just going to create another image and write pixels to it. Dude, I could actually make something in NumPy as well. But then again, I would have to write that to the image. Okay, anyways. So we resize this to 16 pixels and then we zoom in. This zoom is not enough. It's fine. I need a brush that's gonna be specifically for 1 pixel. Dude, I think I need to open this up in Paint 3D. Yeah, let me do that. Paint 3D might have better features for this. Oh god, don't do this right now. Come on. Never mind. Never mind. I guess we are just gonna do it this way. Wait, did I resize this to 16 by 16? Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I needed a total of 16, not 16 by 16. But now the situation is even worse because holy shit, I cannot see this and it is so small. If I increase the size, okay, let's do red in that corner. God, this is so small. Let's do blue next. Let's do green after that. I can't tell if I did that right. I think I did that right. Okay. Then let's do yellow. It is, my God, this is so small. Okay, then we can do purple. This is a lighter purple. Then we can do another kind of blue, I guess. All right, I guess that's it. Then we can do green, no, gray. And black, and all of the others can be white. So I'll save this image. Wait, didn't I create like a, yeah, I just remembered that. Because there's a color palette thing over here. Let me import both of these. I completely forgot that I might have created something like that at some point before. Where am I? Right, so let's open this up in the File Explorer. Uh, all right, so we have two color palette things here. I'm just going to drag and drop both of these in here. Let's create a new folder. Let's just call it pics. Actually, we can say images. That's much better. Right, so we copy from here and then paste it in images. All right, great. So now I should be able to open up both of these. I don't know if this is going to load. I don't know if either of these are going to load. Okay, it loaded, but like even this is small. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So, from PIL import image. Great. So, let's say img01 equals image.open. What is it? Images, color, what was the thing called? Color pal. Okay, color pal 01.png. Is there anything more? No, that's it. So if it's successful, it'll return an image object, and I can read the format, read the size, and read the mode as well. All right, let's do that. So print. Wait, dude, I've never done this with the print method. Like, let me just do that. I've never done this. I usually use some kind of like I usually use a formatted string, an interpolated string. Um, well, I guess in Python it's just called a formatted string, but basically the idea is that it's it's a it's a string in which you can like insert variable values along with regular text that you were planning on adding in the string. Okay, give this a second. It's taking some time. But yeah, I've never tried, or at least I don't think I've tried doing this comma thing. I wonder if that works, because if it works, then I don't need to do that formatted string thing anymore. Unless I have like, very specific string requirements. This would be convenient. Give it some time. Um Actually, while that's happening, we can carry on reading this. I should probably also zoom in because I just realized it's way too small. That's much better. The format attribute identifies the source of the image. The source of an image. If the image was not read from a file, it is set to none. The size attribute is a two tuple containing width and height in pixels. Oh, is it done? No, it failed. So we're going to try running this again. All right. I guess we're just going to keep waiting. Okay. The mode defines the number and names of the bands in the image. Okay. So basically whether it's RGB or I think, what was the other one? HVL? HLV? No, HSV. Hue saturation value. HSV, and then we also have CMYK. Oh, there's also a grayscale thing. Good. Okay. Good to know. Hold on. It also stores depth information. That's interesting to know. Wait, I didn't know images do that. I didn't know that images store depth information. I know about transparency. So that's where your alpha comes in. Oh, maybe that's what they're calling depth. Maybe that gets reused as depth. I don't know. Okay. Once you have an instance of an image class, you can use the methods defined by this class to process uh, and manipulate the image. For example, let's display the image we just loaded. Oh, good. Okay. It's done executing. Dude, I didn't know we could do this. To be honest, I didn't know that we could just add in like for example, let's say we create this, right? I didn't know I didn't know that we can just specify it like this. Usually, if I wanted to do this, what I would be typing is something like this. A, and then B, and then C. Usually, this is how I would display it. But I didn't know you can just pass in, any number of arguments and it'll print it out with comma. Oh, actually, no, hold on. This is something interesting to notice. It introduces its own separator, which in this case is a space. I wonder if we can like specify. Dude, this is crazy because this is one of those things. Yeah, you can specify. So if I specify a separator, I can specify something like this, for example. Dude, this is one of those things where it's like I've used this method in a certain way for years, and I just never bothered to look for other ways to use the method. So I just learned something about print, dude. That's crazy. I did not know that you can just specify in this way. You don't necessarily need a formatted string. Of course, you would still need a formatted string if you wanted to do something like more custom. Like, for example, if I wanted to say, A is this value, B is this value, and C is that value, then yeah, I would need something like a formatted string. But if I'm just trying to display it like, linearly laid out like one after the other, I can just pass it in like this. Okay, enough getting excited over this. Let's do something useful now. Actually, instead of print, no, you know what? I wanna see the print thing. So image dot, what was it? Size, I think. Yeah, that's the size. Okay. What was the other one? Mode, RGB, and format should say PNG. Okay, cool. Good to know. Great. So let's try displaying the image here. I wonder where the image is going to be displayed because I'm assuming because I'm doing this here, so there's going to be some implementation that makes it be displayed here. My assumption was wrong. It just opened up the image separately. It used the Windows photo viewer to open up the image. I think the image is open. I'm not sure. Oh, that's interesting. It says the format is either unsupported or the file might be corrupted. That's funny. Okay, I was expecting there to be like a Jupyter Notebook implementation. I believe there was something mentioned. There was something meant. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I mean, it works. That's great. I don't know how much zoom it allows, but like I'm zooming in. The colors are all getting blurred. They're not showing. Yeah, never mind. Oh, you know what I could do? I could read the data from the image. How do I read? What if I just index this? Does that like how does that work? That doesn't work. Okay. How do I read the data from this image? Get box, get bands, get pixel. Get pixel might be it. It returns a pixel value at a given position. Okay, great. It needs a tuple. So let's say 0, 0. All right. So the first thing, wait, that's confusing. I don't remember which image it is. So yeah, let's do this instead. Okay. This I'm assuming is red because like, the red channel it has like, it's very high, but there's a little bit of the other channels as well. So I don't know what the color is supposed to be. To be fair, when I selected those colors in MS Paint, I didn't look at those values, so it could very well, just be that issue. This is like a mix of blue and green with more green than blue. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at white. Actually, no, white would be here. Okay, at least that's accurate. Black. Let's take a look at black. Um, what would that be? That would be 1 on Y and 3 on. Okay, that's black. That's accurate. Now let's try this. That's gray. Okay, that's accurate. So those other colors, they weren't exactly R, G, and B, and I don't know if yellow is exactly yellow either. So let's take a look at yellow, which I think it was this. It's almost there. So it's red and green. Yeah, it's red and green mixed. But yeah, dude. Okay, so we have the data here. Hold on. Maybe I could set the color as well. Yeah, what if I set the color? So let's say img set pixel. Actually, how do you write? You know what? That's the next section. Okay, let's read this. So the standard version of show is not very efficient since it saves the image to a temporary file and calls a utility to display the image. If you don't have an appropriate utility installed, it won't work. When it does work though, it is very handy for debugging and tests. That is true. Yeah. The following sections provide an overview of different functions provided in this library. Exactly what I was looking for. Awesome. Okay, reading and writing images. PIL supports, or Pillow. Pillow supports a wide variety of image formats, image file formats. To read files from disk, use open in the image module. You don't have to know the file format to open a file. The library automatically determines the format based on the contents of the file. Okay, good to know. To save a file, use the save method in the image class. When saving files, the name becomes important. Unless you specify the format, the library uses the file name extension to discover which file storage format to use. All right. Convert files to JPEG. Okay, so here they are setting this. Okay. All right. So that's basically it. So you just specify a different. So you can load the image as a PNG, but then you specify a different extension while saving it, and the library is going to handle everything for you. That's good to know. That is actually good to know. That is very good to know. This is something important to know because file formats are they're usually not as simple as as file extensions, because like from the user's point of view, yeah, it's as simple as a file extension, but usually it's not as simple as that. These Each of these file formats are like different from each other, and libraries and programs and stuff that are handling the different file formats, they have to know how to read those formats and how to write those formats as well. There's like a big difference between a lot of these different formats. One huge difference, for example, between JPEG and PNG is PNG has transparency, JPEG doesn't. So okay, that brings up an interesting question. What exactly happens to the alpha channel if you write something to PNG? Does it just replace it with white or black? I think that might, yeah, I think that might be the case. It just replaces. No, it doesn't need to replace. It just doesn't do anything with it because JPEG doesn't really use the transparency, right? So instead, it's just going to use whatever color is specified, because like the value of the pixel is going to be RGBA, right? Or well, color and transparency. So I guess JPEG is just going to ignore the transparency and use the color because there's always going to be a color present there. Okay, all right. A second argument can be supplied to the save method, which explicitly specifies a file format. If you use a non-standard extension, you must specify the format this way. Create JPEG thumbnails. Wait, thumbnail is an extension? I didn't know that. Hold on. Thumbnail extension. I had no idea that thumbnail is actually an extension. Wait, thumbnail file extension. Oh, could it be that um could it be that dot thumbnail here means something to it means something in another project somewhere. It doesn't mean anything here. However, because we are specifying a custom extension, that is why we have to mention what file format we are expecting to be written. I think that might be the case. So like dot thumbnail might not necessarily be an official file extension, but in somebody's project it might be an extension that's expected from a file. That could be the case because like I'm not finding. Yeah, I'm not finding Windows thumbnail cache. Okay, yeah, no, I'm still not finding it because like for thumbnails, they still use like the regular file formats, the regular image file formats. Yeah, I don't think dot thumbnail is an extension. For the time being, let's just try writing. So img.save, let's say img01.png. Oh, actually, let's make sure it goes into the images folder. All right, there it is. That's our image. I don't know if you guys can see. You should be able to see like a tiny thing here. And it also says 4 by 4 image. I don't know to what extent I can zoom. Okay, let's try. Okay, that's good. Awesome. So at least we can zoom in. Let's try 2000. 2000 doesn't work. I think the max is 1000. So yeah, this is the image that I had made in MS Paint, and these are the colors. You have the red and the sky blue and whatever kind of green it is, and then yellow and purple and another purple and gray, black, and the rest of them are white. You know what we can do? Next, once we learn how to write to images, I'll correct all of these. So I can make the sky blue thing cyan, and then green can be proper green. Yellow is already close to proper yellow. Red can be proper red. This light purple, I'll make it magenta, and then this I'll make it purple. Um, I just realized that there's no blue here. So what I could do is instead of magenta, I could do a purple, or I could do magenta and blue. Yeah, we can do that. We can do magenta and blue. And then gray and black is fine. All right, let's see how to write. Let's see how to manipulate the data. Oh, there's something mentioned here. It is important to note that the library doesn't decode or load the raster data unless it really has to. When you open a file, the file header is read. That's great actually. I think that would make things faster. So like unless the file is actually going to be rendered, it's not going to bother rendering that bit of data that's required for the rendering. But like the image data itself, like the pixel data and stuff, can still be loaded. When you open a file, the file header is read to determine the file format and extract things like mode, size, and other properties required to decode the file, but the rest of the file is not processed until later. This means that opening an image file is a fast operation which is independent of the file size and compression type. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Oh, you know what? I might be wrong. Maybe it doesn't load the pixel data at that time, because technically, I guess the pixel data would count as part of like the raster data as well, right? I think so. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, if we are going based off of what this is saying, this means that we can also load massive images without there being some kind of delay, because it's not going to be loading all of that data. All right, identify image files with image.open. Oh, that's interesting. So you can create this sort of context kind of thing where you load up the image and then it kind of closes the thing as well. Yo, what's up, Sama? Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. How's it going? We are looking into the pillow image, or well, the pillow library in Python. Yes. Dude, I should set up that winged Doritos thing for you. I'm yet to do that. I just haven't had the chance. I'm yet to do that. I'll be setting up the I'll be setting up a new middleware application for my VTubing app, which should then make it easier to do Twitch API related stuff. I think I'll do that off stream though, because doing Unity stuff on stream, it tends to be a bit of a headache because my system is not that great. So things end up going really, really slow. On the other hand, if I do the work off stream, it's gonna go a lot faster. It's still gonna be slow, but like it's gonna be a lot faster than if there was the added load of, you know, streaming. Give me a second. Let me hydrate and take a sip of my energy drink, and then we can carry on. All right. Uh, where were we? Yeah, I was looking into this thing where you can like open this. You can open it using width. That's kind of interesting. So what I'm guessing this means is it's gonna open it up, and then it'll also release the resources after that. Yeah, let me just confirm that because I believe that's how it works. You know what? Instead of Googling it, let me ask Gemini. In Python, when I use the width keyword, um, can that be used to also release resources? This is a very vague question, but like hopefully it gets it. So Gemini replied, yes, the with statement in Python can be used to automatically release resources after a block of code has finished executing. This is known as context management. The with statement works with objects that implement the context manager protocol, which means they have enter and exit methods. When you use, hold on, they have enter and exit methods. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious about something. I wonder if I need to pass something to. Yeah, hold up. We are going to try implementing this ourselves. Okay, class, some class O1. Okay, cool. Let's do an init method. Great, awesome. Then let's do an enter method. And then let's do an exit method. All right. So now we should be able to do something like with some class O1 as sco1. Oh, you know what? Let's print entered. You're curious if other chatters write chaos, will it work? It should. Yeah, I think it should work. I think it should work. Yeah. Though, in the future, so okay, what I want to implement is There's two things that we can do. One, I can set up a rewards kind of thing. Uh, it should, because chaos is forever. True, true. But yeah, when I implement the thing for you in the VTubing app, the way that I want to set it up, there's two ways that we can set this up. One, I can have a channel point reward. So you redeem that, and then it's gonna cause a bunch of these like wings and Doritos to fly all across the screen. That's one thing we can do. Another thing we can do is we can stick with the current thing where you type in the command chaos, exclamation chaos, and once you type that in, there's going to be a bot that reads the command, and then it throws a bunch of like wings and Doritos across the screen. So there's two ways that I can set it up. One is with a channel point reward, or I can set it up with uh, a chaos command. And if it's the chaos command, then I'll be able to make it like specifically for you. Like I can then check the username of whoever has redeemed it. Yes, Pride Hearts. That's another one that I need to eventually automate. Hold on just a second. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I wanted to set up the thing, um I wanted to set up the automation for this, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't set it up just yet. I've set up the thing and I connected it to my I set up the thing and I connected it to my virtual stream deck app, so I can like manually trigger it, which is great because now anytime I want to do it, I can just, trigger it myself. But yeah, I have set it up to be able to be triggered by something else. So eventually I do want to also set it up to where someone just redeeming the thing. Dude, it's pretty though. Hell yeah, dude. Isn't it? It's dude. This was one of my favorite things that I had implemented. Just the Pride Hearts Rain. That was one of my favorite things to implement. But yeah, dude, there's like a bunch of ideas for things that I need to set up. I think I need to rush with the middleware app. So one of these days I do want to explore, you know what? Real quick. Real quick. Let's create a new file to do. So, VTuber app, middleware, chaos, um, chaos, chaos things. This can either be, okay, we need to change this text thing because, okay. All right. So, chaos things, either chaos command or chaos redeem. Next, well, yeah, these are chaos things, of course. I could set it up for both, right? I could set up, um, I could, the thing is, I don't want to set it up as channel point redeems, because then if somebody else tries to do it, and it doesn't work, then it's just like a waste of their points. Which, I mean, I could still refund it, but like at that point, might as well just not have it, right? At that point, I might as well just have it as a command. So when you do it, specifically you, then it's going to respond. But then, okay, so the interesting thing is, once I have something, oh, you know what? Yeah, good thing. Yeah. Set up chat bot to read chat commands. All right. And then also reading channel point redeems. Okay. Okay. So the last time that I tried setting something like this up, one issue that I ran into was that I was trying to standardize the thing. I was trying to make it like a standard. How do I even explain this? I wanted to make it so it was like a one size fits all solution. So commands and redeems and like a bunch of things all could be fit into like one data structure, and then that data structure can be sent across the network. But that introduced all sorts of complications. Trying to set up a format for that, it was introducing complications. Though I also want to make it so I can remove things whenever I need to. Because like another way to go about it, one way was to standardize it and like have a standard format in which the data is going to be serialized and then it's going to be sent over. Another way, which would be a more chaotic way, is that each time I have a new thing that's implemented, I'll just implement it on both sides and then I have to document it. But then for each one of them, it's going to be a different implementation, and it's going to be I'm going to have to document like each one of them. I feel like that can get a little hectic if I don't have a standard kind of thing. So how are you, oldie? I'm okay. I mean, I've been busy, dude. I've been busy learning stuff. So I'm happy about that. Just today, I made a big batch of food that hopefully is gonna last me for the entire week. Hopefully, let's see. But the good news is, because of that, I won't need to cook for a while, and I can just concentrate on doing my work. How are you doing, man? How are things with you? Yes, food. I also had three Kit Kats before starting the stream because I was having a sugar craving after having dinner. Okay. I'm alive. Hell yeah, dude. That works. That works. Dude, I've been watching a bunch of stuff on Netflix. You need to get a fucking Netflix subscription, man. That way we can actually have movie nights again. I mean, we could still have movie nights, but like we have to go looking on YouTube for stuff. And then if the stuff gets taken down in the time that, we take to start the movie night, then that's an additional headache. But I've been watching a bunch of 3 Kit Kat bars or 2 into 3? I'm not sure what 2 into 3 means, but each of the Kit Kat bars that I had, these were the small ones. Each of the Kit Kat bars that I had, it had 2 bars, and I had three such I had 3 such bars. So technically, I guess, yeah, 2 into 3. Okay, now that I've written this down, I need to figure out if I want to do a standard format or if I want to do the chaotic way where each time there's a new thing to implement. Because, dude, honestly, doing the chaotic way, it's gonna save me a lot of headache. It's just that in terms of in terms of removing features, like let's say I added something just for fun, right? But then a couple of months from now, that thing it gets old and I don't really want that in the app anymore. Then I would have to remove it from both of the apps, right? I would have to remove it from the middleware app and remove it from the actually, do I need to remove it from the middleware app? Oh yeah. Okay, I would probably need to do that. I would probably need to do that because so there's two ways that I can go about this. One way is when something is redeemed, I just send the entire thing over. Yeah, so when something is redeemed or when there's a chat message. So there's going to be two situations where I have to handle some kind of thing, right? One situation is when there's a chat command, where when someone has typed in chat, not just a chat command. When somebody has typed in chat, I'll receive that and I'll send that over to the VTubing app. So the middleware app is going to receive that, and then I'm going to process that data and then package it, and send it over to the VTubing app. And then it'll be a similar thing with the redeem, right? So when something gets redeemed, when anything gets redeemed, regardless of what it is, that data is going to be packaged into a structure and then sent over to the VTubing app. And then whatever the VTubing app chooses to do with it, that's up to the VTubing app. So, okay, in that case, that's a good idea because that way I don't need to worry about having the logic on both ends. It's the implementation is only going to be on one side. It's only going to be on the VTubing app side. And so anything that I need to add or remove in terms of, responding to a certain event happening or something, I would mainly only need to do that in the VTubing app. Yes. Note. Uh, Mainly use this app to receive posture check and stretch. Yes, good idea. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll do that in a bit. Mainly use this app to receive data, package. No, wait. I need to say this in a better way. This app is mainly used to receive data from the Twitch API. The received data will either be chat messages or reward redemptions. Regardless, sorry, zoned out. Okay, hold on. What was I? Yeah. Regardless, uh, the middleware app uh, doesn't do anything with the data. It just packages the data and sends. Well, it just processes and packages the data and then sends it over to the VTubing or the VTuber app. The VTuber app can then decide what to do with the data. So this is going to lead to sort of like I mean, in a way you can say it's kind of wastage, but like, considering that it's, sorry, zoned out. Oh my God, dude. I zoned out. And there's an ad playing right now. Holy shit, dude. Um, what was I? Yeah. So, in a way, this is going to lead to wastage, but the wastage is not that bad because it's going to make it so the logic remains in the VTubing app side, and the middleware app is doing nothing but collecting the data, receiving the data, and then sending it over to the VTubing app. Okay, let me get up and do the stretch and posture check and stuff. Okay, all right. So, dude, I also need to get back into doing my electronic stuff because I had some fun project ideas. Um, Let me just add that to a separate list that I have. Okay. Uh, oh yeah, I was looking into this thing, right? So here we do print, exit, and then here we can just do pass, I guess. So the idea is I want to see if, okay, exit takes one positional argument, but four were given. Oh, okay. What if I remove self here and remove self here as well? Okay, so there's an issue here. Enter takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. Okay, let's pass in A. Exit takes 0 positional arguments, but 4 were given. Okay, let's do A, B, C, and D. All right. Now I'm curious. I need to look into. Give me a second. Python with context. Okay, okay. All right. With statement. Okay. All right. Cool. So I found it. It's here. The execution of the with statement with one item proceeds as follows. The context expression is evaluated to obtain a context manager. The context manager's enter method is loaded for later use. The context manager's exit is loaded for later use, and then enter method is invoked. If a target was included in the with statement, the return value from the enter, no, from enter is assigned to it. The with statement guarantees that if the enter method returns without an error, then exit will always be called. Thus, if an error occurs during assignment to the target list, it'll be treated the same as an error occurring with the suite within the suite would be. I'm not sure what the suite is here. But anyways, the suite is executed. Wait, hold on. Does it mention up here what is a suite? What is a suite? Uh okay, hold on. In Python with keyword, what is a suite? In Python, a suite refers to a block of code that is executed together within a specific context. Okay, all right. It's typically enclosed within indentation. All right, so suite here is basically the block of code that you're executing. Right, so we enter and then execute the code, and then we exit. If an exception caused the suite to be exited, its type, value, and traceback are passed as arguments. Hold on. I think uh, this is where the extra variables come from, or this is where the extra arguments come from, because it says its type, value, and traceback are passed as arguments. Okay, all right. So I mean, um, what if I did this? Would that work? Or how do you specify argument lists? I forgot. Um, this works, right? This doesn't this work? I forgot how exactly you specify argument list. Hold on. Let's do something else here. So def sum func o1. Let's do A and then B. and then we print out B. Actually, we print out the type of B and also print out B. Okay, so now that we've defined this, we call sumfunc01. We pass in 5 here, and then here we pass in a list that says 1, 2, 3. So let's see what happens. Right, so that's a list, and then the list got printed. Oh, hold on. No. Wait a second. Okay, so what if I wanted to destructure this? Would this work? Okay. So then that gets passed in as a tuple. What if I did it in this way? How do you do that? Oh, do you just do it like that? Okay. All right, so it gets accepted as a tuple. Right. What if I wanted to do a keyword arguments list? So what about now? Wait, let's print type C and then also print out C. Okay, so there's an issue here. Oh, it must be a mapping, not a list. So this has to be a dictionary because it has to be a keyword thing. Okay, all right. All right. Yep, that makes sense. So I would have to do something like this. Wait, that's not accepted? Oh, yeah, the key must be a string. Yeah, my bad. Now what's the issue? Got multiple values for argument A. Got multiple values for argument A. Okay, let's say F. Okay, maybe it was kind of getting confused because of this A and then I added an A here. Okay, so that is our keyword dictionary. Um, there was a way to sort of break it up. So what if I did this? Okay, that works. All right. Okay, what was the way to specify a list and then destructure that list? Or was there no way to do that? So this is currently being taken as a tuple. It's not being taken as a list. Right? There was a way to specify argument lists. I can't remember that. Let me just look at that. For some reason I'm just getting distracted by that right now. Argument list. Um okay. Maybe I should write that. Actually, it should be function arguments list because it's not necessarily always a method. Dude, why is this so hard to find, dude? Fuck's sake. Hold on, dude. Let me... Python functions. There was a section called control flow. Let's look at that. More control flow tools. Hopefully functions show up here. There it is, defining functions. All right, so we have default argument values. Then we had keyword arguments. Okay. Then we had special parameters. Okay. All right. So positional and then keyword and then this. And then finally also this arbitrary argument lists. There it is. The least frequently the least frequently used option is to specify that a function can be called with an arbitrary number of arguments. These arguments will be wrapped. Oh, they'll be wrapped up in a tuple. For some reason, I was expecting it to be wrapped into a list because you're passing it in as a list. Normally these variadic arguments would be the last thing in the list of formal parameters because they scoop up all the remaining arguments that are passed to the function. Oh, wait, wait. So how, like, what's the right way to specify this without putting it into a list? Any formal parameters which occur after the args parameter are keyword-only arguments, meaning they can only be used as keywords rather than positional arguments. And then unpacking argument lists. Dictionaries can deliver keyword. Okay, all right. Oh God, I'm getting sleepy again. Hold on, I need to like remember this. I don't even remember what exactly I'm trying to remember. Okay, any formal parameters which occur after so and so are keyword only arguments, meaning that they can only be used as keywords rather than positional arguments. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I get it. I think I get it. No, hold on. So this is a way to specify that this is now actually no, this is something else. This doesn't specify that it's a argument list. Yeah, that's not a good, because this specifies that it's a positional or keyword argument. And then what was it? This? Oh, wait. Did I get that wrong? I think this is supposed to be here and this is supposed to be here. Okay, so then this specifies that B is a position or keyword only, and then C is a keyword only, and A is a position only. All right, so this means something else, right? This is a completely different thing. Right now, I'm trying to look into argument lists, and I'm trying to remember what was the right way to. Okay, hold up. So I think what I'm remembering is that we could pass the entire list in this way. Um, oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah. So if you want to pass the entire thing as a list, this is what I was trying to remember that I wasn't sure if I had forgotten. Basically, you can pass in a list of values. You can pass in values like this, right? You can keep on adding more and more values. However, if you want to explicitly specify that, take in this specific list as the arguments list, then this is how you do it. Okay, we can just get rid of all of this now and go back to what we were doing. Enough distraction with this. Let's get back to pillow. Identifying image files. Okay, cool, cool. Cutting, pasting, and merging images. Okay, the image dude, I'm curious about displaying an image in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so pillow Python Jupyter Notebook display image. How to show image in Jupyter Notebook. Import packages from python.display. Wait, no, hold up. How to show PIL image in IPython Notebook. When using Pillow, Jupyter Notebooks now has a display built in that will show the image directly. No extra fuss. Really? There's a display function? I didn't know that. That's crazy, dude. The Python objects to display a Python object in all front ends. By default, all representations will be computed and sent to the front ends. Front ends can decide which representation is used and how. I had no idea this was a thing. Okay, let's say display img01. Okay, well, can't complain. It showed it. It's just that the image is too small. Let's try opening it up here separately. Maybe that's gonna give. Actually, that has a zoom option, so we can. Oh God. Okay, it did this. It's not showing the individual pixels. That's okay. That's fine. Good to know, though. This is good to know. I need to look into this later on. Yes, let me take note of that. Uh, research Jupyter notebooks display function. Okay, good to know. Great. Awesome. So now that I know we can do that, I don't need to worry about opening the thing up elsewhere. I'm curious about what it looks like if I do something like this. A equals 5 display A. Okay, so it just displays the entire thing. All right. What if I try to display a class? All right. Okay. Cool. Right. So I'm guessing then print also internally calls display. Or you know what? No, I think display is what's calling print. Well, display might be doing different things depending on what kind of data you pass to it. No, it mentioned something about passing it to the front end, right? Where's the display method? Hold on. Display a Python object in all front ends. So here the front end is Jupyter Notebook, right? You're joking, dude. Let me fucking scroll. Okay. All right. By default, all representations will be computed and sent to the front ends, and front ends can decide which representation is used and how. In terminal IPython, this will be similar to using print. For using richer front ends, see Jupyter Notebook examples with rich display logic. In Python, objects can declare their textual representation using so and so. IPython expands on this idea and allows objects to declare other rich representations, including HTML, JSON, PNG, JPEG, SVG, and LaTeX. A single object can declare some or all of these representations. All are handled by IPython's display system. The main idea of the first approach is that you have to implement special display methods when you define your class, one for each representation you want to use. Here's a list of the names of the special methods and the values they must return. All right, that's fine. I don't need to look too deep into that. Um Right. So the image class contains methods allowing you to manipulate regions within an image. To extract a subrectangle from an image, use the crop method. Okay. So to do this, I feel like I need to pass in a slightly more, a slightly bigger image. Um, so I have an images folder where I've kept a bunch of images for various, like, be it VFX related stuff, shaders related stuff, or just in general if I'm creating something and I need to like add an image to it. Just for that purpose, I've created different types of images. Um, okay, how big is this image? So I have this one image which was a color palette. I have a couple others here as well, to be fair. I need something where I can like make out the shape that's been like cropped. Which one should I select out of this? For some reason, I'm focusing on this. Okay, you know what? I'll just pick one. Actually, no. I can pick multiple. Yeah, I'll take three of these and put them in here. Uh, back. All right, there it is. Great. So now what I can do is load up, let's say, let's say EFF aura 1. We don't need to save this. We can display image. So that is the image. Great. Now we can do the cropping thing. So img01.crop. What does this return? Returns a rectangular region from this image, but it returns an image, doesn't it? Yeah, it returns an image object. The box, no, the crop rectangle as left, up, left, upper, right, lower. Left, upper, right, lower, tuple. Okay, all right, I get it. I get it. Right, you know what? We can display the thing here itself, right? This requires a tuple, which left is upper. Hold on, what did that say? Left, upper, right, lower. Oh, it's a four tuple. It's a for some reason I was imagining like upper left corner and bottom right corners. So like we are describing where those two corners are going to be, and then it's going to calculate the rectangle according to that. But no, that's not the case. Right. So let's say 0, left, and then upper would be actually what would be considered 0? The box tuple defining so and so C coordinate system. Okay, let's take a look at coordinate system. That is not here. I need to figure out where 0 starts. So let's say upper, because like depending on whether 0 starts here in the top left or in the bottom left, I would be giving, the coordinates in a different way. What's the size? Let's first print out the size. img0 dot size. So it's 128 by 128. Right. So let's first display. Dude, what happens if I give it two display commands? Like, what's it gonna do? Oh, that's interesting. It displays it twice. Great. No, this is useful because like keeping print aside, like print works for text, right? It doesn't work for this kind of stuff. So it's good to know that display is a thing. So this is our full image, and then here we have the cropped image. So we say 0, let's say 32, 32 upper, then right would also be 32, and lower would be 0. I don't. No, hold on. Coordinates lower. Coordinate lower is less than upper. Okay, so let's say 10. Lower is less than upper. How is lower less than upper? Give it a second. Let the thing load. For some reason, it's taking time. Okay. It says left, upper, right, lower. Okay, what if I give it a negative? Does that work? That doesn't work. Why does it say coordinate left is... Coordinate lower is less than upper? Am I missing something here? Because it says left, upper. Oh, wait. What is it saying? Lower is less than upper. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. That makes sense. Um, that makes sense. Oh, you know what? I think I'm getting it now. But it would still make a difference. Look, okay, if that's the case, then I'm guessing like bottom left is where 0 is. So it starts at the bottom left. In which case, yes, lower. No, wait. Yeah, the lower bounds. Though if they're calling lower, then I guess the coordinates start at the top left then. Right, now we need to identify which area this is. Let's change this to... So it starts at 0, right? Left is 0. And then we have upper. So it's left, upper, right, lower. Okay, so we do left, upper, right, lower. So we are going in that way. If we say, let's make upper 64, and let's make right 64 as well, and lower 128. Okay, so we are looking at this section. So upper started here, and then lower went there. Meaning, if we wanted to shift this up, we would do 0 and 64. All right, so then 0 starts here. Well, yeah, 0 on X and Y starts here. So if we want to crop the thing, then we specify the coordinates starting from here, and then, yeah. Oh, sorry, zoned out. Okay, great. So we're done with this. The region... You've got to be fucking kidding me. I could have just read this and I would have found out. I wouldn't need to experiment so much. Okay, so the region is the region is defined a four tuple by a four tuple where coordinates are left, upper, right, lower. The Python imaging library uses a coordinate system with 0, 0 in the upper left corner. Also note that coordinates refer to the positions between the pixels. Coordinates refer to the positions between the pixels. So the region in the above example is exactly 300 by 300. The region could now be processed in a certain manner and pasted back. Processing a subrectangle and pasting it back. Pasting it back? Oh, that's interesting. So you can crop it, work on it, and then paste it back exactly as it was. When pasting regions back, the size of the region must match the given the size of the region must match the given region exactly. Oh, you specify a size. Okay, okay. Oh, hold on. So what if I did this then? img o1 dot paste. So let's try something here. Let me try to copy this into 4. Let me try to tile it basically. So let's say C image equals this. Okay. And then we try to paste in this. So we only need to paste it 3 times, right? So we specify a box here, right? X starts at 64. Y starts at 0. Right. Right is 128. And then lower is 64. Okay. Then what? X 0, Y 64. Not 64, it's supposed to be 65, right? Yeah, because I'm cropping it at 64. Yeah, yeah. Wait, no, is that right? I don't know if that's right. Hold on. I guess we'll find out if there's like if we are able to see extra on the right side. I guess we'll find out then. Okay. Right. So then bottom left. So X 0, Y 64. Well, no, I should say left 0, upper 64, right is also 64, and lower is 128. And then here it would be X 64, upper 64, right 128, and lower is also 128. Yeah, there it is. Let's try opening this here and see if is it noticeable here? Yeah, I think it's noticeable here. Oh God, what just happened? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about this section here. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think yep, yep. I think okay. All right. So, we can change things up a little bit. Uh so we cropped this. It said 128 by 128, right? In the size. Yeah. So assuming it starts from 0, we should do 0 to 63, and then it would be 64. No, how is 128 working then? How is 128 working? It should stop at. Would 129 work? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, images do not match. Oh, wait a second. Uh, Let me try doing it here. The right side works. What was this? The right side, right? So what exactly does it do when there's extra stuff here? So let's say I did 150. It accepts it. Okay, it accepts it. So 127. 127 would be right. I think 127 would be right. Okay. All right. So 63. Okay. X is 64. Uh Not X. Left is 64. Upper is 0. Right is 127. Would this throw an error? I think this would throw an error because of the size, right? Yeah. So if I then made this 127, wait, no, it's still throwing an error. Um, Hold on. So left is 64. Left is 64. Upper is 0. Right is 127. And lower is 64. So why is there a size issue? Should it be 63 then? Images do not match. Sixty-three, 64, 0, 128. Oh, this should work. No, this doesn't work either. Oh, that works. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Let me think about that. That makes sense. In terms of size, that makes sense. Right? Because we start at 64 and then we end at 127. And then we start at 0 and then we end at 63. That makes sense. I'm trying to make it so it's like seamless. Um okay. And then the next one would be, oh, actually, let's display image. Oh, now there's definitely a seam. There wasn't a seam before. Now there's definitely a seam. Yeah, no, this is not right. It's not supposed to be this. It's, I mean, why is it coming out that way though? Yeah, I don't get it because if it's 128 by 128, it would be 0 to 63. So that's 64 in total. And then it would be 64 to 127. So that's another 64 in total. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure this out. Um, Give me a second. Okay, dude, I wanna raid someone, but I'm like really tired. I'm I'm thinking whether I wanna raid someone because like I like to hang out in the person's stream after raiding, but like I'm tired, so I don't know. All right, okay. We will raid this person. Their name is Redstone LP2. So we're gonna go raid this person, and yeah, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I'll carry on looking into PIL. Maybe there might be another stream of PIL, or well, pillow. Maybe we'll do another stream of pillow, because there's a bunch of more stuff to learn when it comes to pillow. So we can like go through all of this. Yeah, we can go through a bunch of these things. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's stream. Sama, thanks for hanging out. Anyone else who might have been lurking, thanks for hanging out. Uh, I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.